It's quite the find. Hello friends, and welcome back to Crow's Thrifty Finds. My name is Melanie. So for this week's video, it is going to be a what sold video. I still have sales coming in. It has slowed down a bit. So the holiday season has kind of come to a close. And now we're into, the slower time period. But, tax returns are going to be coming through. I think February, should be a pretty good month. It's not that it's been totally dead for me. It's been definitely slower. So I waited a couple of weeks to give you a really good video. I've had sales. There was maybe only like one day in the past 2 weeks I didn't get a sale. So not terrible, but definitely has been better because we get really spoiled in Q4. So then Q1 starts and it's a little bit of an adjustment. And as you all can see behind me, I put up some shelving in my office, which has helped greatly. So now I kind of have this area where I can put stuff that's been listed but is not yet in the shed on the shelf. And maybe it sells before it gets out to the shed. Who knows? It's been so cold and miserable. I honestly haven't even wanted to go out to my shed unless I have to because I have to retrieve items. So at least now it frees up my floor, it gets my space more organized. Everybody's happy. It's a good thing. So let's talk sales. Enough of my life. Let's talk about what's sold on eBay recently. First off, we have a Department 56 Easter set. I paid $8 for this at a rummage sale. Sold it for $29. Department 56 stuff is great. I actually haven't found a ton of it this year, but I'm always looking. So it is really good. It tends to be more profitable when it's actually a little newer, so vintage Department 56 is not typically as valuable unless it's a special piece. So I've mentioned this before, but it's good to mention again because it's been a little while since I've sold a Department 56, but definitely worth looking up if you see it. Next, we have a Disney Store live action Cinderella doll. I just bought this week at Goodwill. I paid $20 for it, so I paid up a little bit, but this is a rare doll, and it sold very quickly for $85. Nice quick flip. Next, we have a Transformer. I sold quite a few Transformers, but I'm just going to show one. This is from my Transformers lot that I bought, and I'm well into the green on it. I've made over $200 at this point on it, so that's more than doubling my money that I paid for it, so that's great. So this particular one sold for $48. New Transformers are great to pick up. Next, we have something I didn't know about. This is a Caruso hair curling system. I actually saw this in the thrift store and I looked at it and I swear I looked it up and I didn't think it was worth it. And maybe I don't know what happened, but I bypassed it. And then Wick at Flipping Junk shows me that he picked one up. And I said, I just looked one of those up at the store and I didn't think it was worth it. And he said, no, they're worth it. He said, you should go back and get it. And so I went back and got it and it sold right away. I paid $5 for it. It sold for $50. And then he listed his even higher for I think $70, and he sold his right away. So if you follow Flipping Junk, you'll see that on a future What Sold video of his. Spoiler alert. But yeah, these are great. I'm not even sure exactly what they are, but some kind of curling system. It's vintage. It's desirable. So if you pick it up, that's going to sell right away. Next, we have a Patagonia men's vest. I paid $10 for this, so a little marked up at Goodwill. It sold for $36. Nice quick flips, was listed maybe 2 weeks. Next, we have a Steely Dan hoodie. I paid $1 for this. Pretty sure those bleach marks on there are supposed to be there. I wasn't sure, so I mentioned it in the description, but it did sell. Took a few months. I bought it in the summer, so it wasn't the quickest of sales, but I only paid $1. And it sold for $42. So great flip. Next, we have Thomas the Train Minis. These are kind of blind bag things, and they're valuable. They're not particularly old, so something you could very well find. I've come across them a couple of times, actually. So this bag was $5. sold for $25. Next, we have a Fire King bowl. Some Fire King stuff, super valuable. This is vintage Depression era stuff. And I've seen a lot of Fire King that isn't valuable, but there's plenty that is. So I advise looking up Fire King if you see it, because you just never know. So this bowl I paid $5 for, sold it for $22.50. I had it priced higher, but it kind of sat. Gained a lot of interest, but nobody was buying. So I thought, maybe I should lower the price. So $22.50 it went. Next, we have a North Face men's jacket, just kind of a basic jacket, nothing really fancy about it, but it was cheap. I paid $5 for it, sold it for $26.97, so just under $27, so not too shabby. Next, we have an LL Bean cruise sweater, paid $5 for it. Goodwill, my Goodwill does not price LL Bean up, and I'm happy about that, because LL Bean is very desirable and it is high quality and people want it. So I paid $5, sold it for $33. Love finding LL Bean stuff. It's almost always worth picking up as long as it's not priced up too high. So definitely worth looking up if you find it. Listen to this girl from New England, where LL Bean comes from. Next, we have a game, kind of more of like a game geared to adults. It's called Trajan. I could be pronouncing it wrong. It was in my toy lot that I bought, that big toy lot. So I'm actually well into the green on that now. So for anybody that maybe doesn't recall or didn't see the video, I paid $925 for this lot of toys, and I would estimate it's worth maybe $2,500, maybe possibly even a little bit more. So I'm already in the green after just a month and a week or so of selling, and I still have tons more stuff. I still have stuff to list, so it was a great pickup. Very happy that I got it. And okay, so anyways, getting back to this item, this was a game I knew nothing about, but other people knew. So this game sold for $38. So if you see this game, it's worth picking up. Next, we have a Build-A-Bear My Little Pony. These can be great. This was from, I think, 2014-ish. So I paid $10, sold it for $37. Having the outfit was definitely helpful. Not only was it more of a rare Build-A-Bear, it had the outfit, so good deal. Next, we have a Slumberkin. I bought this in Canada, and I've mentioned Slumberkins before. They are sort of a newer toy, but they are desirable. They're something that people want. So it's a nice plush to be on the lookout for, this shark. I paid $2 for it, sold it for $32.97. It was new, but still, if you find them used, you figure half of that. So, say you get it for a quarter at a garage sale. Is it worth selling for $15? You could. Next, we have I'm not even sure exactly what this is. Claire Burke Applejack and Peel Stovetop Oil. I guess it's maybe some kind of oil diffuser. Sorry, my dogs are barking. I paid $2 for this, sold it for $32.97. Next, we have a big sale. This was a big one. I bought this lot of WWE figures. There was 120, well, actually, there was a little more than 120. I took some of the really good ones out, and I lotted the rest. There could have been some other good ones in here that I didn't know about, but I listed the lot for $410, and I paid, I believe it was $60 for the whole lot originally. So yeah, they sold for $410. That was a huge sale. The person that bought it, I believe, is a seller also. And so, maybe they're going to make a little money off of me. But you know what? I am happy because I turned $60 into $410, and actually, truthfully, a little more than that. Because like I said, I kept some stuff out of it. And some of it's sold already and some of it hasn't. So in the end, I'm probably going to make close to $500 on it. So good deal. Next, we have a lot of Ben 10 figures. Ben 10 can be great. And it can also be bad. And I'm not always so savvy on what's what. But I saw this lot of figures. They were cheap, $5. So I gave them a chance. And they sold very quickly for $46. So, you know, it probably depends. If you guys have any information on Ben 10, you can definitely leave it in the comments. If anybody's savvy on, you know, things that sell good. I know the watches can sell good, but I've also had watches that didn't. Very confusing to me. So definitely do your comp searches on Ben 10 and don't just buy Ben 10 because you've heard it's valuable. It's definitely one of those things you need to research specifics on, unless you want to take a risk. Okay, next we have a Marlboro Limited Vintage t-shirt. I paid $1 for this. People love Marlboro stuff, like old Marlboro stuff. So I paid $1 for this at a garage sale. It sold for $25. I have some very loud dogs today. I do apologize. Next we have a jelly cat. This was a great sale. I saw this on my local Facebook marketplace. Somebody was selling this rare jelly cat bee plush for $15. So I picked it up. It sold within a month-ish for $97. So that is a great sale. I love finding jelly cats. This is the most expensive one that I've found thus far, but they can go for way higher than that. So definitely be on the lookout for jelly cat plush. Next, we have a Millennium Falcon model. This came from that toy lot that I told you all about earlier. So another $100 in my pocket. This is a Millennium Falcon. I'm not sure exactly what this thing even is. I just know it's a model of the Millennium Falcon and it makes noise. So yeah, somebody bought it for $100 and that's all profit at this point. And that's going to about wrap it up for this week. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And feel free to leave a comment about an awesome sale that you've been excited about that you had recently. And until next time, my name is Melanie. This channel's name is Crow's Thrifty Finds. I'll see you next week.